Hey guys, doing it? Thanks for tuning in to Wicked Warnings, your number one source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, SUVs, and brand new 2022 Ford Raptors. Look at that. Beautiful. Let me show you a little bit more about this truck. That's right, you're looking at a 2022 Ford Raptor 37. This is a special edition Raptor, and this particular customer does a little bit of construction work, so we wanted to give him something nice and unique, as well as effective. So what are we looking at in the front? We're looking at the 5 DOT lights that only Raptors have, the 3 in the grille and the 2 on the fenders. Those are being manipulated via wire cutting with our universal auto flasher kit. As of the filming of this video, the only way to do this is cutting the wires and using a universal kit. We will be working on plugs eventually if the demand is needed. Right below that, behind the honeycomb grille, actually mounted to the plastic surround of the air shutters, are 3-inch MPower LEDs. That's an amber white LED light by Sound Off called an MPower. It's a 3M self-stick light, so you only need to drill one hole in the outer bracket, the outer casing of the louvers, the active shutters, and you can run the wiring right on the outsides, and it recesses behind that honeycomb grille quite nicely. I went with that light because I wanted to get a true, actual emergency light on the front and back of this truck, in addition to some of the factory lighting for the cool factor. Now, the factory lighting is nice, but you can't make it any brighter, and it's not a purpose-built emergency light, so it doesn't give the same effect as those MPowers do in the grille, as you can see in this film right here. However, the factory lighting does add a very unique factor to this Raptor, and I can factor to the Raptor, and I can assure you that everywhere he goes, he'll be the only Raptor that can do this. Now, below those lights, you can see the factory inboard fog lights. This Raptor was equipped with factory fog lights, which by Ford's design, the outers are hooked up to the factory fog switch, and the inners are hooked up to auxiliary switch 1. Now, we interrupted both of those inner fog lights via wire cutting with another universal auto flasher kit. And we were able to, you can alternate or simultaneously flash them. We chose to simultaneously flash them, as you see here, but you can pick whatever pattern you want. And those lights will work normal. You don't lose any factory function. When you turn off your flashing, as you see, everything works back to normal. So you don't lose any functionality at all. The flashing simply overrides the factory. If it is on, like right now, parking lights are on. If we activate the flashing, you can see how our auto flasher module overrides factory function and allows you to flash the factory light. Now we are going to run all this off of the factory auxiliary switches, which are located right behind the passenger battery, and we will attach a picture as well for the auxiliary switch wire colors and switch numbers for your reference. Alrighty, so here is your auxiliary switch wires, just for your reference. AUX 1, violet green, AUX 2, green brown, 3's green blue, 4's brown, 5's blue orange, and 6 is yellow orange. Those are your auxiliary switch wires located behind the passenger battery. There's also pass-through wires, same spot that will come out on the passenger footwell. If you wanted to add any interior accessories, you could simply attach an auxiliary to the pass-through and bring that power into your interior passenger footwell. Hope that helps you out. There's a side profile of this truck. Now, unfortunately, the Raptors have a unique badge, and I didn't want to put any holes in that badge, so we didn't add any lighting to it. The F-150s have a badge that we have added lights to, but I didn't see any really effective place to add any lighting on this Raptors badge, so we skipped that for now. You can see how that front fender DOT light is pretty visible from the side. You can definitely tell there's something there flashing, as well as the reverse light in the rear. That's a factory reverse light that we modified with our auto flasher kit. And here's a little bit better shot. You can see how that definitely shows up for the side as well. Here's a corner shot of that factory reverse light with the auto flasher kit on it. Now around the back here, this is a no-cut installation. We have two methods. We can either switch one of the wires in the factory connector or add a plug-and-play connector. So all you need to do is unplug the tail light and plug in the adapter, and you'll be able to get this. Either method is available for the reverse lights of the F-150, and the wiring on the F-150 matches the wiring on the Raptor. So it's really no different in as far as the reverse. The signal is different, however. The Raptors have a red brake signal above the reverse, and the F-150 has an amber. So that is the difference in the Raptor, is your signals. As you can see here by putting on the four-way flashers, the upper LED is also red, as well as that center LED, where on the F-150, the center LED is your brake, and the upper is an amber turn signal. So the Raptor has a slightly different tail light, and as of right now, the only thing we're working with is the reverse flasher. And if you wanted to flash that red parking ring that I just turned on, you could flash that as well at the tail light level. If you were interested in flashing this red parking ring, that would be the same as the F-150 also. So that's fairly easy. Looking at the truck straight back, you can see that we chose the same flash pattern for those MPower lights. That particular pattern is called intercycle, and one of the lights, the passenger, is not only set as an alternate phase, but also an alternate color. You can set all them features with the Sound Off Bluetooth programmer, or you can do it via the wires by following the instructions on that light. That light has a lot of capabilities and a lot of different patterns. Above that, we set the reverse on the same pattern we did the front fog lights, just a very fast, I think 360 flash per minute alternation of a single. And I just like that to allow the lower MPower lights to have their unique pattern and the reverse to be a faster, different pattern. Here we're pulled back a little bit. Now, if your next question is, can I synchronize my reverse with the sound off lights below it? The answer, unfortunately, at this time is no, because there are different technology lights, different systems of communication, and the auto flasher that you see above that on the factory reverse does not sync with other products outside of auto flasher. So the auto flasher only synchronizes with other auto flashers at the moment, so there would be no way to synchronize those lights all four together. There's a little farther back in the shop. I don't know if you noticed our new Swiss Trax floor, the new pad here over by the door. I like it because it lets the water drain out when the trucks come in wet, and it also gives a nice presentation for when the customer is going to pick the truck up. If you're interested in that floor, make sure you get a hold of us, because if you order it through Wicked Warnings, we can offer you favorable pricing. So, I hope you enjoyed this video of this beautiful, brand new Raptor. I hope it was everything you dreamed of, and you might be doing some work like this to your own Raptor. If you have unique needs, like perhaps you have the Baja Squadron fog lights, and you want to do something with those, go ahead and email us, and we'll try to work out a custom creation for you. At the moment, none of the Raptor stuff is really set up for plug and play, easy install, except the reverse in the back. We can do it on the reverse, but the front modification you see here, this was all a wire-in install, and at this time, that's how it has to be done. So the 4 sound-off lights are very easy to set up. You can see that front pattern again matching the rear pattern, and all of this is activated off a single auxiliary switch, but if you preferred, you could always split it up for 1 switch on the front and 1 switch on the back. That's totally your choice how you want to run your system. Thanks for tuning in to Wicked Warnings. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep us in mind, as we are your #1 source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment, specifically for brand new Ford Raptors and even some older Ford Raptors. I'm not going to hate. If you got a Raptor that's a couple years old, get a hold of us and we'll see what we can do for it. Keep in mind there are slight differences in the Raptor versus the F-150. Major one looking at you right now, the amber headlight. There is no white DRL at all on a Raptor. That headlight is always orange, and it also functions as a turn signal. That is why we haven't interrupted the headlight and played with it yet, but maybe on the next one, I might flash those amber headlights as well. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon.